everybody, it's Joy. I'm back with another project for Joy Clair Designs. It is a super elegant card, but extremely easy and quick to recreate, and I hope that you will give it a try. So I am using the Count Me In digital stamp set from Joy Clair, which comes with two different florals and three sentiments. For my sentiment, I chose we can make it through anything if we do it together. And what I did was print the image onto navy blue cardstock with a laser printer. I use a Brother monochrome laser or toner printer, but you can use whatever laser printer that works for you. And so I cut that panel down to size, and then I ran it through a laminator that I let heat for 30 minutes prior. And I applied deco foil with the shiny side up, which so that would mean the dollar side was against the toner. And I ran that through my laminator. I use a cheap laminator. But what I have found with mine is that if I put my hand on top of it the first time and kind of put some pressure on it, I get a better impression. And then, for good measure, just because that's what I do, I run it through a second time and I don't worry about putting the pressure on it. If your printer has an eco setting, I recommend taking that off of there so the most amount of toner possible can go down onto your cardstock. And what that does is it allows the deco foil to adhere to it better, because basically it's sticking to the toner, which is plastic, once it's heated up. So I find that that's the best. I take mine off of eco, but if you don't have that option, you can certainly do this technique without any problems. But my favorite part of this entire card is this reveal that's coming up right this second. There is nothing better than that shimmer and shine. It's beautiful. I love it. Just look at that. So I like to take my cards up an extra notch, but this is still super simple. I'm using Simon Hurley's Midnight Snack, which is a navy blue ink. You can use any navy blue dye ink that you have. And I am applying that with a blending brush. And I'm just making a vignette. And by making the vignette or inking around the edges, it draws the eye into the middle to where the sentiment is. And it also gives a lot of drama. What I find is the first time I put out a light layer on the outside, and then that's never enough for me. So then I go in with even more ink with a heavier hand, and I bring it more closer to the center. And that really, in my opinion, adds drama. If you don't like this or you don't have the ink, you definitely don't have to do it. The card is stunning with or without the inking, but I happen to love it with the inking. I just think that it really made the card stand out, especially once I matted it. You'll have to tell me what you think, if you think that the inking helped, because I'm always wanting to know what your opinions are and what you're interested in seeing on the channel. So let me know. So one thing I will say with digital stamps, I love them because you can size them to meet your project, no matter what size. You can manipulate them, you can turn them, you can do pretty much anything with a digital stamp that you do with a regular stamp. I actually think sometimes you can do more. So I really encourage you to try them. If you haven't, don't be intimidated. So again, I'm talking about bringing my card up to the next level. I'm using Arteza Gold Gouache, which is a type of watercolor. It's just a little bit thicker. So I water that down, and using a fan brush, I add splatter. I love splatter. Splatter just makes my heart sing. I don't know. If you don't like it, don't do it, So the other thing that I love is when I'm drying this with my heat gun, how it curls up. You're like, oh my goodness, how are you going to fix that? You fix that by flipping the paper over and heating the other side. and just like that, it flattens. So another trick that I do to make that flatten, you can put it under like your Misty and let it, add some weight, but I didn't have to do that with this panel. I used my Barely Art glue, and I'm putting that down onto a gold cardstock mat. I love shimmer shine, so the gold just screams to me. It's what makes me happy right now. Who knows? If you would prefer a white or a black, you absolutely could do that, or any color for that matter. I'm just sticking with the navy and golds because I think it's just stunning. So the other thing that I do, because I like to mention, is I add foam tape to the back of that mat, and I apply that throughout so that it lays nice and flat and there are no sagging spots in my card. And then I bring out my Barely Art glue again because I can never put my mats on straight. I'm not kidding you, I cannot do it. So by applying a wet glue, no matter which one you use, it will give you just enough wiggle time or the ability to pull it up a little bit if you get it off center without ripping your card base. So my final steps from there are adhering it to an A2 card base, and then I added gems and stickles in there. I didn't include that in the video, but you can see these few details in my final cards. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you will consider subscribing. Have a great one. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.